Coming up, NAU's new president signs on the dotted line. He starts in June. Plus, Flagstaff is taking one more step towards carbon neutrality. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Sheridan Moronic.
And I'm Aaron Vitito. Thanks for tuning in.
Dr. Jose Luis Cruz was appointed this afternoon as the 17th president of NAU, and although his term officially begins June 14th, he's already making plans. At the Arizona Board of Regents meeting today, Dr. Cruz announced that he will be conducting several meetings, both in person and over Zoom, to gather information before he starts in Flagstaff June 14th. He also announced the formation of a presidential transition committee. Cruz told the regents he could not be prouder or more excited to get started at NAU. The new president signed a 3-year contract, which is typical for new university presidents in Arizona. There is no word yet on the future of outgoing President Rita Chang.
City Hall has been working on an updated climate action plan for Flagstaff with the aim of reaching carbon neutrality by 2030, 20 years earlier than planned. NAZ Today's Quanah Arnold reports.
In 2018, the city of Flagstaff proposed a climate plan which proposed achieving carbon neutrality by the year 2050. In 2020, after declaring a climate state of emergency, Flagstaff was named one of the top climate leaders in the country. Yesterday, City Council discussed a new proposal which hopes to achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2030. And Vice Mayor Becky Daggett says the new proposal is a group effort.
It's going to take everybody's work and everybody's participation. So this isn't something that we can achieve just by the city or just by people who want to ride their bikes or just by the business community. This is going to take the entire community coming together to get this done.
Climate and Energy Coordinator Ramon Alatorre says the new proposal differs from the initial one in several key ways.
The specific sort of target that was being discussed in the Climate Action Adaptation Plan was an 80% reduction in emissions. What is sort of different is not just the time horizon, moving things up to 2030, but we're no longer just talking about reductions. Again, the science is coming out saying reductions aren't going to be enough.
With the need for less carbon emission comes the need for an increase in initiatives like sustainable tourism and a decrease in vehicle transportation. Daggett says the plan has run into 2 roadblocks, including time and
funding. Having the money to retrofit city buildings, having the money to purchase electric vehicles, solar panels, all of that. And also, we're running against the clock. And, when our climate plan was first adopted, the goal was 2050 to be carbon neutral by 2050. But recognizing the emergency that we're in, that was moved up to 2030.
The major goals for this new plan include greenhouse gas emissions, carbon levels created by transportation, and making waste disposal more efficient. Quanah Arnold, NAZ Today.
Flagstaff police are attempting to identify the suspect in an armed robbery yesterday. This robbery occurred at 4:15 a.m. when a man entered a Circle K, held the clerk at gunpoint, and escaped on foot. But police say the suspect may have fled in a sedan. If you have any information, contact Flagstaff Police.
Flagstaff school officials will be ready to return to in-person learning by the deadline set last week by Governor Doug Ducey. NAZ Today's Caitlin Stevens has the story.
Last Wednesday, Governor Doug Ducey released an executive order requiring all public schools in Arizona to return to the classroom by the Monday after spring break or March 15th. In Flagstaff, virtual options will still be offered alongside in-person teaching. And the reopening day still depends on meeting certain COVID benchmarks set by state health officials. The start date for Flagstaff Unified School District is Monday, March 22nd for all grades except 7, 8, 10, and 11. Those students will return the week of March 29th. District spokesman Zachary Fountain says FUSD has been preparing for this for a long time.
We've been working for a year on what we called our layered mitigation strategies. But now we have vaccines, we have, the hand sanitizer all throughout the schools. We've got a number of different strategies, cleaning practices, contact tracing.
The district says masks will still be required, but bandanas and neck gaiters, which are pulled up over the face, will not be allowed. While some parents have been wanting in-person classes to resume for a while now, others are still hesitant to send their children back.
What we've really worked on is just to make sure that we've gotten all of the input and that we've been able to execute accordingly.
FUSD is working to stay compliant with both Ducey's executive order and the COVID benchmarks set by the state health department. For more information, visit FUSD1.org. Caitlin Stevens, NAZ Today.
The Arizona Department of Transportation is replacing historic bridges on I-40 that lead into Flagstaff. Construction will begin in West Flagstaff over the I-40 business route leading to Route 66. This project is a continuation of ADOT's efforts to repair roads in northern Arizona. Other projects include the recent I-40 closures over the Rio de Flag and work on the I-17. ADOT expects the bridge construction to last through October.
Well, movie theaters have always been a fun place to go and hang out with friends to watch a new film. But with COVID restrictions still in place, a lot of people are getting their entertainment fix from the internet. NAZ Today's Tori Smith has more.
Since COVID began last March, many movie theaters around the world have closed, some for good. NAU film lecturer Paul Helford says the streaming business seems to have benefited from this, adding many more subscribers.
Movie theaters were unable or were completely closed for a period of time. And many, including Harkins here, are reopened with limited seating. So it's been very difficult on the theatrical business. On the other hand, the streaming business is absolutely surging.
Streaming services were already a risk to movie theaters before COVID, but they've also saved many different genres and short films.
The streaming services have allowed smaller films and certain genre films that were maybe dying at the box office to make comebacks, like romantic comedies like Sylvie's Love. I guess like family films as well have really found new audiences.
NAU film professor Bill Carter says the movies will always be around because of the experience.
They're starting to realize that streaming is a pretty good avenue for what they do. So will it cut out theaters? I don't know, because I think people enjoy collectively watching movies, as a group, and popcorn and trailers and loudness and Dolby sound. And there's an experience there that is very hard to get in your pajamas at home.
Tori Smith, NAZ Today.
Some movie theaters have started to open up around Arizona with face masks required and limited seating. Probably the best way to help these theaters survive is to buy a ticket.
At last, Athlete of the Week is back. And to start us off, Justin DeBale takes a look at Coconino High's star basketball player, Preston Olney.
Preston Olney is favored for Region Player of the Year again, but his coach says that it was a bit of a journey for him to get to this point.
First came here, he was difficult. After his freshman year, sophomore, he was thinking about going somewhere else. And I said, I wish you luck. You're a great player, and you've improved a lot. I think, in my opinion, if you stay here, you'll have a great career. And he decided to stay.
Although Coach Moran is impressed with his game, something that stands out is Preston's fierce competitiveness and his ability to be a role model.
They view him as a great competitor, a great player, a tough-nosed kid. He gets after people when things aren't going well, kind of like Michael Jordan a little bit with the Bulls. But he's grown a lot and matured a lot, and the kids look up to him in a big way.
Preston's ability to lead is something he learned along the way.
I've done a right job. Last year we had very good captains like Anthony Watson, and he taught me a lot and how to respect the teammates and talk to them. I give them a lot of them advice, especially the JV and the point guards on there and the guards.
Not only is he leading by example off the court, but on the court is where Preston is at his best.
He brings the ball up the floor every possession. He runs the fast break. We run the Carolina break, and You know, he's the master of that. He's the kid that can push the ball, hit the open man, and he can stop and hit threes from long range.
Number 20, Kristen Olney.
He gets everyone involved, both on offense and defense. He looks to facilitate the ball, but he can also create his own shot.
When Preston graduates this year, the thing he'll miss most about this team was building the relationships.
I'm going to miss everyone. I'm going to miss like how we all got along and how we bond and how we're a family with each other, and we take it on the court and off the court.
Justin Dubell, NAZ Today.
Coming up, now that Congress has passed the nearly $2 trillion stimulus bill, President Biden is preparing to sign. Stay with us.
I don't know if you can tell, but it is actually flurrying out here right now. Super exciting, and we are just going to be seeing more of that throughout the rest of the week. Stay tuned for more after the break.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back. President Biden promised COVID relief, and a $1.9 trillion relief bill could deliver. The bill passed both the House and the Senate and is waiting for approval from President Biden. With a chance of a new stimulus check within the next week, many Americans wonder what this will really mean for them.
All eyes on Capitol Hill as Congress is set to pass the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill.
This is the most significant legislation for working people that has been passed in decades.
The big question for Americans is, what's in the historic bill and how will it affect you?
This plan will get checks out the door starting this month to the American people who so desperately need the help.
The relief bill consists of $1,400 direct checks for individual Americans making less than $75,000 a year and married couples making less than $150,000 a year, $300 a week unemployment assistance, assistance for small businesses, funding for state and local governments, schools, and vaccines.
It obviously wasn't easy. It wasn't always pretty, but it was so desperately needed.
The Senate passed their version of the colossal bill along party lines over the weekend. Conservatives say the bill is way too expensive.
This was a liberal wish list of liberal spending, just basically filled with pork.
The plan, mainly geared toward middle and low-income working Americans, also includes an increase in child tax credits to $3,000 or more a year. The House is expected to vote on the measure Wednesday, with hope of President Biden signing the bill into law soon after. I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your Wednesday night student forecaster, Tori Smith, and we are seeing possible precipitation within the next few days. That Pacific storm system is coming from California, pushing its way northeast and mainly affecting northern Arizona. That is super exciting, possibly bringing a few inches of snow. But with the snow comes the travel caution. So if you are going to be traveling or even driving around the city, make sure that you are carrying chains and a full tank of gas, because if your car gets stuck in the snow, then you definitely want to be warm still. As well as being warm, make sure to bundle up, because currently it is 35 degrees out, flurries as we saw earlier, and currently we are still seeing those flurries. Winds of southwest winds of 18 miles per hour. That is above normal, but fret not, just dress warm and it should be fine. 37 degrees was our high for today, 19 being the low for tonight. Pretty on average for those temperatures, but nowhere near that record high set in 1989 of 70 degrees. 70 degrees in winter, spring does not seem too pleasing to me. We did see a little bit of precipitation, but nothing measurable yet. And highs today across the state for today, all were pretty chilly, keeping that cool trend of 54 in Page, 52 in Hopi, and 48 in Payson. Those temperatures will continue for the next couple of days. And tonight, 19 degrees, snow showers are possible, and hopefully we get those, because I'm super excited to see some snow. And the sunset is going to be around 6:30 tonight, and sunrise for tomorrow is going to be 6:42 a.m. for your early birds out there. Chance of snow again tomorrow and for the next few days. 35 degrees is the high. Super exciting, and forecast temperatures across the state for tomorrow are still following that cooling trend. 51 in Page is the high, 53 in Winslow is the high, and even 65 in Phoenix. Pretty chilly for Phoenix, actually, but that is super exciting because northern Arizona will see some possible snow, about 40 to 50% chance the next few days, and then finally by Sunday it will all clear out. That is all we have for weather, but stay tuned for sports after the break.
kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter Connor Trett, and today we're going to be looking at the Flagstaff girls soccer team. The defending 4A champs earned a 4 seed in the 2021 playoffs and hope to make it 2 in a row this year.
Flagstaff is your 4A state champion.
2 days. That's all it took for head coach Holly Jones to put Flagstaff's first state title since 2011 behind her, as she and the rest of the team began focusing on getting back to the big dance. Flagstaff has 14 returners from last year's team, including goalkeeper Leanna Albert, who as a sophomore last year pitched 6 shutouts, one of those coming in the title game against Catalina Foothills. She has only improved from last year, allowing just 6 goals in the 2021 season.
I think a lot of it has to go to my defense because they're really disciplined and they get on themselves and each other when they get a mistake, but they also pick each other up. So if there is a mistake, then they clean it up. And they really helped me out as a keeper because when I talk to them, they listen and they do what they're supposed to do. And we just all know that defense wins championships.
A new addition to the team this year is forward Morgan Caslin, a junior who couldn't play on the team last year due to restrictions with her club team. But since joining the Eagles, Caslin has led the team in goals, assists, and points. Albert and Caslin were voted as co-captains for the 2021 campaign. And in addition to leading the team as captains, they're both in the top percentile on the stat sheets as well. Albert is 24th in the state amongst goalkeepers in goals against average, and Caslin is tied for 20th in the state in points per game. But to both players, the real prize isn't stats. It's a chance to lead the Eagles to back-to-back titles for the first time since 2008.
I think that winning a state title would show how much work we've put in this year, especially because from the day that our season was canceled, we were all so sad and it was just really crushing for all of us. So I think to come back from that and win a state title would be amazing for all of us. I think it would just show how much effort and time we put into soccer and how much we love it. And I think that that's a really big reward that we want to get this year.
Last year, Flagstaff was the surprise team in the playoffs as they snuck into the championship game, having not won a single playoff game in regulation. This year, with the title to defend, the Eagles won't have the luxury of no outside expectations.
This year, it's a little bit different because we do have that target on our back because, we are the defending state champions. So it's a little bit different, and they haven't experienced a loss that ends the season. We don't want to have that feeling, and we're going to try to keep everything within our control and take care of business.
The Eagles changed their overall game plan from last year to adapt a more fast-paced, offensively driven strategy, and we've definitely been seeing some results. Flagstaff has scored 55 goals in just 12 games this year, and for comparison, they scored 60 goals last season in 20 games. In a non-COVID shortened season, the Eagles are on pace for a 92-goal season. Flagstaff is currently taking on Mesquite Wildcats as we speak, and I'll be back next week to bring you the story from that game. That's all we have for sports today. Stay tuned for more NAZ Today after the break.
You. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Heard about the scarecrow who won an award? He was outstanding in his field.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back. We're going to take one last look at weather moving into this weekend. We are going to see possible snow showers Thursday through Saturday, about 40 to 50% chance there. And that is all we have for weather. Back to you guys on desk.
Thanks, Tori. Well, this month is Women's History Month, celebrating important women, many of whom have not received the recognition they deserve. A number of events are planned here in Flagstaff throughout March.
That's right. At the Pioneer Museum, there's an exhibit called Resilience, Women in Flagstaff's Past and Present. At NAU, there are multiple Zoom events celebrating women, but this is more than just about history. It's also a good time to celebrate the influential women in your life as well. And speaking of women throughout history who deserve more recognition, I personally will be celebrating, of course, Lucille Ball, Marsha P. Johnson, two historic figures who I think deserve more recognition, as well as my own mother.
Yep, it's so important to have strong female role models for everyone growing up right now. Personally, I look up to my mom and my grandmother as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on social media and have a great night.